It's so bright out here, but I'm living my best life. Ooh, look at all these freckles. Oh gosh. Anyway, this is apparently Angel, who is apparently about to put her sunglasses on because it's too bright out here. That's better. I am at my favorite place, the soul food joint. Right? Right on the beach in Brookwood Heights. Beach? Yes. I feel so pressured to do a video today. People are commenting on my friends' videos that I have been MIA. Okay, it's been 2 weeks. But I know we're in this relationship together now, right? So let me do what I'm supposed to, let me do what I'm supposed to do and put something together. Okay. So I will be honest, I don't like the feeling of feeling obligated to make a video, but it is what it is. I understand people want to know what's going on in the Gambia, what's going on with me personally. I'm still here for the moment. I will be leaving shortly to go back to the States for a little bit. And I don't know. There's not much to say because I don't want to put all my business out there just yet. But just know that some stuff is coming, right? I am the pioneer for my family. I'm bringing my mommy, which that I think is the best thing about coming here is I'll be able to have my mom here and she can realize her dream. One of the things that she wanted to do was come back here to the motherland and live the rest of her days. And so for me to be able to provide that for her is huge to me. It's huge. You know, I can come here and realize my dream. I can start businesses here and be successful here, but I can also make the most success that I will have is bringing my mother here. If I can do that, everything else matters more because I brought my mother here. Does that make sense? I was talking to her yesterday and she's so excited about coming, right? And the thing about that is that the smile that comes over my mother's face, it just paints itself on her face when she thinks about coming here. I'm so excited to bring her here. I recently found out that her oldest ancestor that we were able to trace using AfricanAncestry.com was a Bamileke person, right? A Bamileke mother. So I'm going to take my mom to Cameroon at some point. Most likely when I bring her out this way, I'll get her all settled and then we'll get right back on a plane and go down to Cameroon and my mother can walk in the footsteps of her mother's 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 mother, mother's mother. How exciting will that be? It's huge. It's huge. But I came on today because I feel obligated to let everybody know that yes, I'm still here in the Gambia. Yes, I know that I'm due to put a video out, but I'm actually living life. Like, I'm literally living life, and I still work, right? So I'm trying to get my life started here. I have some things going on that I will reveal at some point. But for now, I'm doing 2 jobs. I'm working in the States and I'm here trying to get some stuff started. So I'm tired. You know, unless you guys want to see me looking crazy, you know, at night, you know, with my hair pulled up in a wrap or something, looking crazy. I just don't have time. So I figured I would put something short together today and just say, hey, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Um, I can't express how wonderfully blessed I am because this is my reality every day. I can walk down here to the beach every day if I so choose, and I choose to when I don't have anything else to do. But a lot of times, uh, handling business, you know, it's different. I will say, people want to know what the difference is, I think, between single people and married people here, or what's the single life like. The single life here, I cannot speak in terms of like the nightlife or anything like that. What I can tell you though are the struggles, right? At least if you have a husband or a wife, you have two people, most likely two incomes that you're pulling from. You have one person who can do, these few tasks, another person, even if that person is just handling the household while the other person is out, right? You've got that. Like you are a team, you are a partnership. With me being single, I have no choice but to do things on my own. Some birds flying by. Um, Sometimes it's a bit of a struggle because I don't have any funds to pull from other than my own. I don't have anybody to lay up with at night and say, okay, babe, what do you think about X, Y, and Z, right? Um, all the decisions are my own. So if I fail, I will say this: if I fail, if things don't work out, hey, it's all. I can't say I did anything but try my hardest to get it done, right? But it would be nice to have a partner to kind of shoulder some of the responsibility of literally starting life over here. It's not a bad thing, so I'm not complaining about the fact that it's just me. But it would be nice every now and then. Sometimes I think about the fact that it's like I don't have a choice but to make this work. I don't have a choice but to figure it out, right? And sometimes sometimes I guess emotionally it's challenging. Um, but I also don't have the issue of having to run something by other people. It's like my decision is my decision, and that's it. And I kind of like it that way. I'm a little bit of a control freak when it comes to my own life, right? Oh, okay. My hand is getting tired. I need a selfie stick. Um, so, so there are some challenges when it comes to being here single, but those same challenges can also be very good things because you literally are doing it yourself. And the sense of pride you get when you accomplish something, especially something major like buying land, negotiating. You can negotiate at the produce market all day. But when you negotiate and buying land and getting businesses started, and sometimes I'm the only woman at the table, which can be a challenge in a male-dominated society. But I also do sit back and enjoy the fact that sometimes the men will just talk on my behalf, and they'll just get it all done, right? Um, so, like last week, I needed to contract a person to do a borehole for me. And so I have a very good friend who takes care of a lot of the things that I need to get done. And he says, well, darling, I'm going to call this person and that person, and we'll get it all sorted out. So I said, okay. And so, sure enough, I get a phone call from my driver who says, I'm going to pick you up. And I'm like, when? He goes, oh, right now. I said, oh, okay. And we're going to get the borehole guy, and we're going to go out to your land, and we're going to go discuss whatever. And I'm like, okay, so that was good, right? So it's good to have a person who respects you enough and cares enough about you to just get it all done. And so I will say that it does have its advantages when you have people who really want to see you win, help you. So in that respect, I guess it's okay, but I will say that as a woman, sometimes I find it interesting that I am the one who's making the decision to do A, B, C, but when there are men involved, and that happens in the States too, but I find it very different here, the men will talk to each other and say, we think Angel should have it this way. And although you want your security house over here, we think it's better over here. Now, if they're correct, okay, fine. But if they're not, no, no, no. I want it over here. I don't want it over here. So that's the interesting part. Um, so anyway, there is an advantage to being a no-nonsense, go-getter type person, but also being a very nice person because people just want to help you. And I appreciate that so much. I have such a good network of people here, Americans, Gambians, um, and we all work together, right? Like we all work together. It's wonderful because I don't feel like I'm a visitor anymore. I feel like I actually am a part of society here. I am a part of the community here because I chose to ensure that I aligned myself with beautiful Gambian people. I don't want to be seen as a person who's come, you know, and exploiting Gambia or anything like that, right? Like I'm here and I want to work with the people. I want to make a difference. So there it is. Everybody that I deal with, every person, every company that I've dealt with, I have not gone through some of the groups that I've seen. And no shade, it just wasn't my preference to go through any land buying groups from either the Americans or the Brits. I went straight to a Gambian to put that money into straight up Gambian hands with no filter, no whatever. And like I said, no shade. I don't mean anything about what other people have done, right? I chose to make sure that I went through a Gambian source, and my land purchase was smooth. My papers are all done. My fence is built. There was a hiccup, but that's being fixed. But the point I'm trying to make is that I made sure that I put the money in Gambian hands, and I employ Gambian people to do the work that I need to have done. That was one of the main things that was extremely important to me. And although I love coming here to the soul food joint, and they are Americans that own this place, I also 90% of the time only frequent Gambian restaurants and things like that. It's important to me, and one of the other things too. I don't know if I don't know what anybody else is doing, but I make sure that I tip well too. I understand that they are not making a lot of money here, but I make sure that I tip well too. Even if I don't need, like today, I just bought some fruit. I didn't need any more fruit. I have fruit at home, except I did need some more bananas because I only have one. But even the ladies who walk around and sell their fruit here at the beach, I try and support them. There is a gentleman who comes up and down the beach also, who I bought these earrings, which are made from a horn, I think, and a seashell. I think they are just so amazing. And then also the not the silver bracelet, but that was also made here, but the horn bracelet that goes with it. And so I bought a lot from that man. I bought earrings, wood made from the speaking tree. They're beautiful, beautiful earrings, not very big, but they're really nice. This person, he does handmade beads and necklace. Oh, this one necklace today, I would have worn it today, but I had already decided I was wearing the earrings, and it just would have been too much. But when I tell you, I cannot wait to find a day to wear that necklace I bought. Whoa! I have some abalone. I think it was abalone bracelet and all sorts of things. So if you see me 9 times out of 10, you notice that I wear these pretty much all the time. So that's lapis lazuli, garnet, amethyst, and smoky quartz that I wear on a regular basis. I have some other ones too, but these are the ones that I typically wear all the time. But the rest of them have a lot of Gambian jewelry that I've bought since I've been here, and I typically will try and buy from the people that are doing this out of their homes and selling it. And yes, sometimes the prices are a little bit more expensive when you are in a beach area. So now that when you live here though, and you make relationships with people, there's no more of that two-bob pricing. And let me just address that too. So I go to the market and I buy vegetables and fruit and stuff from these two ladies near the traffic light, near Kariba, Zaina and Ame. I love these two women because the very first time I went there, I explained to them, and I think I was new here then, but I knew enough to say no two-pot price. Okay, ladies, if you give me a fair price, I will come back and I'll tell people to come back and see you, right? And so from then on, we didn't have any issues, right? And I go to those two ladies and I buy from both of them because they were both very nice and kind to me. They both know my name when I come up, and they greet me warmly like family, and I don't overpay for my fruits and vegetables. Let me tell you, please, 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 if there are any Gambians out there who have any kind of small business or what have you, I cannot stress enough to you that when you're smiling at us and saying to us that we're welcome, please know that we need to really feel that, not just in your words, but in how you deal with us. Now, if a person is not being nice to you or pleasant to you, okay, I get anybody would not like that. But I promise you, if it's me, I can't speak for anybody else, but if it's me, if you give me a fair price, I'm always going to come to you. I promise. You're always going to get my business. I don't care if I'm on the other side of town, which I am, but I still go to those produce ladies over there because 9 times out of 10, I have something to do over there, and I get all my fruit and my vegetables from over there when I can. Most of the time, that's where I get it from. I will always come to you. I will always patronize you, and I will always tell people about you, and I have done so. So I hope that they've come to visit you also, because I've said, hey, the two ladies on the far end, all the way over closest to Kariba, those are the two that I go to. Those are the two I trust. But please understand, it's beyond frustrating when we know, especially after we've been here for a while, we know when we're being hustled. That's not cool, right? Because if we're family, you don't do that to family. Okay? You just don't do that to family. And you get more, there's a term that we use in the States, you get more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. Vinegar is overcharging us in the beginning, which means you might get us that first time, but we'll never come back. But if you give us a right price, a decent price from the beginning, we'll always come back to you. And you never know. I'm that person that just says, okay, keep the change. Unless I just really need it back, depending on what it is, you might get more anyway, right? So let's change that. Let's make sure. And I'm not saying this happens all the time, but it happens enough for me to mention it today. So anyway, I'm here, you guys, at the soul food joint. I may be out later on today doing some other stuff. We'll see. But I just wanted to say hey, and I don't know, just talk about whatever was on my mind, and I guess this was what was on my mind. I'll be doing a video when I do leave. Thank you for those people that are wondering about my well-being. I'm okay. I'm still here, living my best life. I can honestly say this is the first time I've actually lived my life just for me, and it feels really, really good. Singleness has its benefits, but I will say I wish I had a partner. I think I probably said that more than once, so maybe it's time for me to allow that to happen, right? but I will say that I've done the most taking care of myself that I ever have in life. So this feels really good to me. And take care of yourselves. Be blessed and be a blessing. It's most important. You know, you can say, oh, I'm blessed, but are you a blessing to somebody else? Doesn't mean you have to come out the pocket. You might just have a word for that person, for a person today. Just try and do that. Be that. All right. Oh, to my babies. I know all my babies are grown, but y'all still mine. You're still my babies. All of my babies. Oh, I miss you guys so much, but I will be seeing you soon. I'll put it this way, for my grown children, just know I want to hug you and kiss you and say I love you and give you guys all big warm hugs, like all of you, right? My bio kids and my lovingly adopted kids. I cannot I cannot stress enough how much I just want to put my arms around each and every one of you and remind you how much I love you, right? But then I'm gonna need y'all to go and just give me your kids. I just want to see my grandkids like for a long period of time. Like when I get back, I mean, hug and kiss, all that stuff, right? And then y'all can leave your kids. That's what you do. Just leave the kids. You can leave my grandchildren, and make sure that if you don't already have their passports, that you get them, so that it makes it easier for me to steal them and bring them back. I mean, did I say that? I mean, it makes it easier for you to come and visit me when, when it's time. I won't steal my grandkids. I love you guys. All right. For those who are mothers, happy Mother's Day. For those of you who are aunties and godmothers, happy Mother's Day. This world does not go round without mothers. And just if you're not a biological mother, but you have mothered somebody else's child, then you deserve to be honored today. Okay? So I love y'all. Be blessed and be a blessing. Bye.